Again, Erev Shabbos, everybody. Welcome to the return of Jerry's Parsha Ponderings. Wanted to do a quick video about this week's Parsha, Parshat Yitro, in conjunction with the world that we find ourselves in right now. At the end of last week's Parsha, we encountered Amalek, and the word of Hashem regarding Amalek was Hiyad al Kesyah milchama ladonai b'Amalek midar dor, that there will be, Hashem will have his hand on his throne, and there will be a war between Hashem and Hashem's people, Am Yisrael, and Amalek midor dor, in every generation. In the last generation, we saw Amalek up close and personal. And on October 7th, we saw Amalek in a form that we have yet to see Amalek in. As I said many times throughout this conflict, the Nazis were awful, but they at least tried to hide it. These savages did it on YouTube. I mean, proud of the terror and the absolute disgusting, vile, I don't even know what the right word is, for what they did to us. And now we are once again at war. Before we came to the pasuk of Vayavo Amalek, before Amalek attacked us in the desert as we were leaving Egypt, it says that the Bnei Yisrael were in Rephidim. And in Rephidim, they complained to Moshe that they didn't have water. And they said, once again, as we've, well, that wasn't once again yet. This, I think, was one of the, no, once again, because they said it on the Yam Suf as well. Like, why did you take us out of Egypt to die in the desert, right? And who was that? The Erev Rav, of course, those that were of little faith, or none. And at Rephidim, it says, the people complained to Hashem, and they said, Hayesh Hashem b'kirbeinu imayin, is God really with us? They showed a lack of faith. And shortly thereafter, it says, Vayavo Amalek, and then Amalek came. How many times do we need the brick wall to fall on? Right before Amalek came this time, there was terrible fighting in Am Yisrael. Terrible fighting. Not even going to get into the whole judicial reform thing, because that's not even the issue. But when Jews are fighting with other Jews, when Yidden are fighting with other Yidden, it never ends well. It never ends well. Hayesh Hashem b'kirbeinu imayim vayavo Amalek vayilachem im bnei Yisrael b'Rephidim. And we see what the cost is. So now, let's fast forward to this week's Parsha. In the beginning of what I call the Shavuos laning, right? At the beginning of the Maimed Har Sinai, it says, "B'chodesh hashlishi letzeit b'nei Yisrael me'eretz Mitzrayim bayom hazeh ba'u midbar Sinai." Okay, in the third month that Bnei Yisrael left Egypt, they came to Midbar Sinai. Great, we're in Midbar Sinai. And then the pasuk says something very strange. It says, "Vayisu merephidim vayavo Midbar Sinai." Wait, you just told me they were in Midbar Sinai. We know they were in Rephidim, because we left off at a few psukim ago at the end of Beshalach. It said, "Vayilachem in Bnei Yisrael b'Rephidim." So what, as I always say, the Torah doesn't waste real estate. What are we being told here? There's a reason that Hashem puts a pasuk in there. Right? So it says, they came to Midbar Sinai, Vayisu merephidim, they left Rephidim, and they came to Midbar Sinai. What does it mean they left Rephidim? We know they left. They're in Midbar Sinai. They left Rephidim. They left the attitude. They took that Hayesh Hashem B'Kirbeinu. They took that fighting within themselves. The ones that said we should go back to Egypt, and the one that they were anti-Moshe. I mean, not to compare one leader to another, but there's always someone trying to get rid of a leader. Whether it's Trump or Bibi, I mean, name one. It doesn't matter. But it says that there was this infighting that caused this terrible lack of emunah, that caused this terrible war with Amalek. And now they're at Midbar Sinai to get the Torah. In order to be Makabel the Torah, they had to leave Rephidim. They had to leave that attitude. Vayichan Sham Yisrael neged ahar ki ish echad b'leiv echad. Do we need a louder lesson than this? I can't imagine. It's right in the Torah. And if you would have, from the time of Simchas Torah, from the time of the October 7th massacre, each Parsha kind of lined up with what was going on. It was really quite amazing. But this one, when I was going over the Parsha this week, this one hit me in the face. I mean, Vayisu Merephidim. We have to leave that attitude. If we don't, Tzizach and Vei. That's all I can say. May our Lima Torah be a schus for every single of our Heilige soldiers that are fighting on our behalf, especially our son Moshe Avigdor Halevi ben Rachel Shulamis, and his entire pluga, all the paratroopers, all of Tzahal. May Hashem bring them all home safely, and along with all of our hostages. And may HaKadosh Baruch Hu have them emerge victorious, killing every one of these last Hamas mamzerim, and may they come out with Sinwar's head on a stick. Agit and Shabbos, everybody. Zachar es Yom Shabbos Lakadsho. Every mitzvah we do is a schus for our chayalim. Let's try to keep Shabbos to the best of our ability. Agit and Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom.